Welcome back to the Casa for tonight's Grand Blue Fantasy versus Bracket. I'm Monkey Business. I'm one of your commentators tonight and soon to be your favorite Percival player because I am in this tournament as well. Thankfully, we also have Dormancy and Dynamite here to provide their full-time commentary for tonight's Casa Fridays Grand Blue Fantasy versus Weekly.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Dynamite here. Back on the ones and twos, and I guess threes with the way we're doing it here with the commentary couch. I like it. It's a little bit different.
Right.
Appreciate the
triplet is definitely becoming a key staple for the Grand Blue bracket at Casa. Oftentimes we get listed on the mic who is not here today, but I think it's kind of a fun dynamic. You know, we end up seeing Monkey Business off on his adventures, and it comes back either completely pumped or totally defeated. It allows us to do a little bit of therapy or celebration, and keeps everyone really dynamic.
Yeah, and it gives me so much to look forward to going back through the VODs like I do every week on the Casa YouTube channel, Casa FGC. You can look that up if you want, but seeing what you all said about me or my play, and often they're very separate. I feel like a lot of people are maybe taken aback at the way I play versus the way I speak.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense.
The more data I can generate, the better.
That's the mix right there. I know, like, I've watched enough anime to know, like, the calm villain, the one who talks like, and they're all just, you know, cool, calm, and collected. Like the jacket's gonna come off and the muscles are gonna bulge out, and it's just gonna be all gorilla after that. So you know, you can't get me with the mix. I already knew. I'm like, this guy.
Yeah, it's too canon.
This is a goon right here coming out here.
The handshake is going to be so sweat drenched but firm at the same time, and you're just gonna want to get out of there. Like the handshake itself is the command grab, and he can combo whatever he wants after it. I combo straight into the good games. That was really fun.
Yeah,
I hope to see you later on in Losers.
It was nice to play with you.
Yeah. It was nice to play with you, but that also sounds kind of antagonistic, right? Like you didn't play against me. I didn't play.
The bar is
against
set
you. I played with you.
low for me for antagonistic though. One time I was at Balance Patch and someone beat me, and they were like, "Hey, good luck in the rest of the bracket," and I was like, "That was losers, dude."
Oh,
it was brutal, and I'll remember that forever. I can't wait to find him again one day.
You set that person up for such an apology.
that's rough. That is rough.
You don't apologize in the moment. That'll just make it more awkward. But like a couple months from now I think it's like a, hey, I'm sorry, but that was hilarious. You were my victim by accident.
I think it's a mutual understanding about how funny it was when it went down. I'm not seeking any sort of out of game vengeance on this person at this point. But if I ever find them in Losers and I eliminate them, you know I'm saying it back.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what game that was in?
It was in Street Fighter 5.
Okay.
It's a Cammy player. Whoever you are out, I hope you're watching. I remember this moment. Thank you for tuning in.
It's the image that flashes through your mind when you're in the lab and you're like, oh, I'm tired of this combo. No, I gotta keep going.
Every time I get hit by Cammy V skill, I get like a PTSD flashback.
Given my familiarity with the balance patch scene, I think I can narrow that down to like 2 people. Two people so I can just ask both of them by the end of the night. Speaking of 2 people, it takes 2 people to play a fighting game match. We got that coming in right now. 2 characters on the screen, Ladiva and Jita. Very sharp character contrasts here. Players piloting them, of course, Ahe Goddess, and I actually cannot currently see the player name for the Jita player.
I saw Geo in the lobby. I don't know if that's
it should be Geo.
Geo.
Both of these folks are new to me. I know Ahe Goddess runs another event another time in the week. Yeah, she runs the gate
tomorrow, actually, Saturday.
Oh, okay,
7
cool.
PM.
Yeah, shout outs to Ahe Goddess.
Well, really awesome to see other TOs in the mix. I'll definitely have to start carving out better amounts of time to jump in those other brackets and get my time in instead of just talking about this all the time.
Right, yeah. Fair exchange all the way, or not unfair exchange with 2 commander reps in a row. Ahe Goddess setting the pace right now with the Ladiva.
And I look at a little safe jump setup. Everything looking really clean here. Textbook Ladiva round so far.
Oh, man. that jump in right there is gonna clean it up for the perfection.
That's
Textbook
about
is
as perfect as it gets.
yeah, I mean, you see a perfect in there. You just see that round playing as a GIF. Like, oh,
that was like
yeah,
an entrance exam. It's just like, what do you do with Ladiva? Safe
It
jump?
may be
Body
textbook.
splash?
It may be textbook, but there's not that much to read if the opponent doesn't block your safe jump, and then you get to just combo and do so much damage in the corner with Ladiva. But finally, we've reached the left corner. I'm sure Gio's happy to be there, and Ahegods is happy to bust out, going to mid-screen after that hit confirm auto combo.
Gio has a really sort of agile defense here. A lot of bobbing and weaving. Just how spot dodge through and definitely active on defense in a way that might be a little risky if Ahegods can step it up.
I like that DP right there on the block string, kind of snuffing out what was going on. Another DP right there. Easy input. I guess we could still call that a crosscut, but you know, it probably wasn't as hard as an actual crosscut.
I crosscut easy input. that is well established. Yeah. Nice. Establishing a good projectile game there, winning the round with just good old GX fireball. Yeah, a simple fireball game is actually really effective against Ladiva because her roll has 10 frames longer recovery than the rest of the cast. So she doesn't gain as much ground as safely as the other characters just holding through fireball.
A little bit of scramble in the corner there, and Gio finds their way out.
Definitely want to escape those corners in this game for sure, but Ahegoda's trying to walk Gio to the other corner at the moment.
Two lights, no combo, goes for overhead after. Ahegoda still has a life lead though, so you can afford to take some offensive risks right now. Even these buttons could be comboed in an EX headbutt. You got super on deck for the combo afterwards. But Ahegoda spared us the cinematic. Maybe wants to win the set with it instead of the first game. We'll see.
This headbutt is so important when it's online. You know, you can kind of just let it rip as soon as you get any sort of hit or block, and either take your frame advantage, your mix based on how many of the headbutts land, and usually combo into hard knockdown as well.
Wow, crash on the sweep into the knees?
Into the jump light, that's so sick.
Physics?
Yeah, I had no idea that was aerial. Like, it makes sense.
That's actually just as powerful as Brand's boot being aerial for Clash Cancel.
Yeah, exactly. That's a nightmare. I've actually never seen
stops
that
it early. Steals a turn there.
We've probably never seen it because sweep usually counter hits. It's a heavy priority button from Ladiva. You have to be going up against a special or like a Vasaraga button to flash.
Here we go.
Anyway, there's that super.
Not the end of the set, but we saw the super at least halfway through.
Yes. It doesn't have to be halfway through though. Gio could still find an awakening here. Ducking Lariat's a good start, but doesn't make as much of a difference afterwards. He made a difference though.
Not really throwing out a lot of fireballs with Gio, right? Like, it's not the mid-range and long-range game is not really being established at the moment. But you know, if you got corner pressure, I guess you should use it. I just think it's giving, like, brawling it out with Ahegodas isn't really working out.
Yeah, that can be really scary against Ladiva too because of the momentum shifts. You get to be in deep trouble really fast. Whereas if you can control neutral, I think Judah definitely has the advantage in that state. But
just whip punish.
Yeah, whip punish and finding a lot of mileage this round. Right there, even backing off a little bit. Ooh, I saw that 5U. It was a blink in the like shadows.
Yeah, for
the wind up
there. Another DP though for Gio. Definitely been pulling the trigger on that and getting rewards too. So you know, Ahegoda hasn't blocked one of them yet.
There
so
it is.
You know,
party time.
I don't know. It's a dangerous thing to do, but sometimes you just gotta let the opponent know. Like, look, I want to be throwing this boy out.
Well, Judah's DP as well. If you're not like ready for it, I've seen people who block it and don't have the punish ready.
Oh yeah.
So right there, I got us showing the jab, just a clean, like, you don't have to worry about trying to get a big button, getting your max frame advantage. Just get something off of that.
Yeah, not worrying too much about whether the opponent's grounded for the punish or not. Not worrying too much about how many M-Rekas are being swung out. Ahegoda's found the solution. It's jumping right over and getting that counter hit with the boot. You know, that's basically the same attack as the SBA kick, so we could say that the SBA frame was on the screen for the victory there.
I'll allow it.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I said I'll allow it. But
Yeah.
who am I?
Both of the players work together to allow it, and that's the most important thing for the end here of this first match and winners. I'm going to check in and see where my winners round 1 match is at. Oh, I gotta play Super Saiyan Kid in the Percival Mirror. So funny. We played 50 games yesterday of the Percival Mirror as well. So
Well,
picking up
that's
right
about as
where I
much
left
practice
off.
as anyone can ever ask for, really.
Yeah. hopefully Kid hasn't downloaded me. I'll report back to you with however it goes down.
Okay, we'll look forward to it.
You two have fun in here.
Next up in here, we've got Apple. She recently took second place at Casa a couple weeks back with Zoe.
Okay.
And plays like a really amazing, like, very straightforward basic Zoe, or at least in the matches that I saw her play, there was a lot of just like staggering with 5L and, you know, going for strike throw, and you set up the dragon, but not usually for anything kind of wild. It takes a player with really strong defense to make her kind of open up the layers of the mix with this character. So she plays Zoe kind of like you'd expect, like a Shoto. She played almost a lot of whiff punish, a lot of I think buffered 2-1-4 in neutral.
Yeah, I can see a lot of that. I mean, it's definitely one of those characters where the amount of pressure you can put out is heavily dependent on dragon meter, right? Like you want to use H dragon, you try to do some laser mix-ups, some pressure with laser to run up and either go high, low, or throw. But she also has that crouching medium, which is really good, right? Like it's a great poke button, especially if you can space it out. So Zoe has some tools. I think that it's not, she's not one of those characters that, just kind of all comes together immediately. Like you got to sit down and kind of work through how you want to approach the match. But I've definitely seen Zoe put in the work from the likes of like Diaphany and over there in NLBC, a town.
I think Zoe might be, and this all with a grain of salt, seeing as we're likely to see a balance patch in like a week. But
yep.
As of now, I think she's pretty underrated. Having no EX reversal without meter is kind of a challenge, but beyond that, her toolkit is really dynamic and really she just like dumps damage if she has all of her cooldowns, and her pressure, like you said, is pretty out of control. It's very hard to manage. So I think that, and a lot of people are finding success with that character, but I think she's really strong.
Yeah, I think she has some tools to really put in a lot of work. So we'll see who, I believe this is Nickel coming up to face off against Apple. So we'll see who Nickel's runs. I'm not quite sure just yet, but we're going to find out as we get into this next match. Match number 2 for Casa.
Nickel was the last person I played on ranked. It was like a week ago, and we were both A ranked. They were A1. I was A3. And there's a like ranked is in kind of a tricky state. If you get on at the wrong time, you're probably gonna just queue into the same person over and over again.
Yep.
But Nickel beat me in the first game, and then ranked into S and left me to like out to dry, and there's nobody else in A.
Oh no!
I was like, someone's got to beat you so you can come back down here. I can try to get some games off you.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Well, they've held on to us since then, at least, so let's see how they do.
Sure.
Nice, solid Narmaya, nothing too kooky. I think this character can get in trouble really quick if the player isn't in like full control of the toolkit. So we'll see how this goes.
All right, now starting off really well for Apple, and good little life lead there, but Nickel going to try to use Narmaya's cut through on a fireball.
Go preemptive.
Much done. However, here comes the pressure
blocks
from the dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, with Zoe, I feel like it's like a series of tests. You're like fighting a like Dark Souls boss or something, where the first set play comes out and you're like, okay, I gotta block low overhead, and then when you get that right, there's this moment of like, okay, they've done it. Like on to the next one. And you start seeing the throw mix, and you start seeing the low stagger low, and like the character has so many options out of that dragon. But you always start with the real basic stuff. Yeah, that was sick. Really close the gap.
Yeah, Nickel obviously needs to be careful here, but still has that corner advantage and just trying to zone things out.
Feels like quick range. Oh. Tricky. Yeah, it's hard to get a sway in there, but needed something to get out of that ship range.
That one going to Apple. Gonna try to keep the momentum on their side. Nice air helicopter there, making sure to keep Nickel grounded.
Here we go. Setting a dragon. Oh no, hard knockdown there to get the meter. The dragon left. Ooh. And there we go, just basic whiff punish. Nothing with the cooldowns there, just to try to find an opening in that corner. Get the pressure just by stage control.
Laser set up here. Good use of the DP, but the laser still goes through. Like that heavy laser from the dragon is really hard to just power through. Like even when you have tools that absorb hits, it just keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop it after it's out. So it gets to be kind of a checkmate situation if you can't find a way to like stop it in its startup. So first game to Apple.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
Apple, I like the way Apple is playing, you know, not committing too hard with Zoe, you know, just staying in the mid-range and then going in, you know, with the Tatu when necessary, but not exactly spending everything to get in close. So I really like what Apple's doing here.
Yeah. I think, you know, keeping pace in neutral here and then bullying in with the, like you said, sort of the Tatu, it's the 216 in Kagura, or 236 in Kagura. Just pulling in with that and like kind of sealing the gap because I feel like Zoe can outrange Nara really effectively, and you have to pick your spots to try to close that gap. Pretty risky. That being said, Apple with a decisive first round there.
Good jump over there. Yeah, I like that. And here's the pressure again. Yep. H-Dragon into just a couple of, you know, block string hits, but nothing over committing to stay in. It's really been the case of Apple just playing the distance range really well.
Really on the meaty there, unfortunately. And goes to try to steal a turn after the jump slice, but no luck. Ooh.
Pressure in the corner. This time a throw. Oop. Yeah.
Oh no. Got the hit, but didn't convert into anything mid-screen there, which can be tough for Nara. But the DP puts her at kind of a serious disadvantage there, and lets Apple close it out. So good stuff to Apple.
Yeah, I really like the way that Apple played that. The pacing was completely on their side the whole time. Really didn't give Nickel a lot of chances to do what Nomaya wants to do, which is push you into that corner, right? And then use the combination of stance skills to put you into some high damage, high pressure situations, but didn't even get a chance to get it started. So Apple doing really well, playing character to their strengths.
Yeah, Nickel can be really overwhelming, or rather, Naramaya can be really overwhelming if you get that corner situation and you have all of your tools up. But until you're there, neutral can be kind of tough in certain matchups. So Apple definitely kept control over that match throughout. Even if Nickel could hang in neutral, I think the advantage state was always for Zoe there. But definitely a good showing. I'm excited for this. I haven't seen Matera in this tournament for like months, and I think we've had character representation for pretty much everybody else at this point, but for whatever reason, none of the like really strong Matera players have been in bracket, or the ones that did play her before may have like switched in the meantime. So I'm really excited to see this character go off a little bit.
Yeah, there's some strong Materas out there, but you gotta really search for them. Zerum, actually, Charlotta player, a very good one at that, was in a tournament earlier this week that I commentated and did really well. So I'm excited to see them continue on in Casa.
Yeah, Zerum definitely accepts rent payment here on the regular. Very talented player. Maybe my favorite Charlotta to watch, just because Zerum's like very meticulous. You know, they'll go in when they know they can, but it doesn't feel like they take too many like enormous risks. And like right here, you can see this slow play, not really like making a point to get in, has a life lead, can just sort of take it slow, but you can see the way they're doing it is really like, I don't know, it feels like hard math. Like everything feels really perfect. And like, yeah, the counter right there and the final, like as soon as the jump in happened, just so clean, like no badgering at all, because it wasn't necessary.
Battle 2, engage.
Alright, round 1 going to Zerum, trying to establish that momentum and keep it going. And Charlotta, one of the best in the game at doing that, off the wall, block the
Yeah,
ball.
hard time, safe jump. Block that cross up there, good block on that, but the back throw puts Senpai right back in that spot. Oh, huge jump in. Cooldowns are up. Oh, misses it.
Yeah, this is
All right,
the link
Senpai's
off
gotta
the
find a way
medium,
out.
That's the
that was
thing,
sick.
right?
Empty
Like,
jump low?
Matera doesn't have many escape options without meter, so it can be really hard
Yeah.
as far as reversals
Oh
go.
my god,
Anyway.
so meaty.
This calls for a spa day.
One of the things I see a lot of Matera's doing in that scenario when they have the time to kind of do an action is TK arrow in the corner if they're not being meatied or if the timing is kind of off from their opponent. But doesn't look like Zerom's the type to be missing those meaties in the corner with Charlotta.
Yeah, I'm just feeling that Zerom's inputs are super clean. And Senpai backs off and gets a little bit of damage on the board here. Doing really good in controlling this round so far. Oh, the spacing on that heavy was perfect.
Nice blocks there.
like-
Rain of
yeah.
arrows. I mean, this is
Doing
what
Matera stuff. It's
yeah. I
perfect.
mean, this is what Senpai Spider needs to do, right? Like,
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you don't want to play that range game, but Zerom gets in eventually. And this
And
could
it's hard
spell
'cause,
doom
like,
because that Super
off
Sky
that
Bomb
one
does
hit,
a grip.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Speaking of,
Goes into it.
it's it.
It's going to be pretty scaled because of the auto combo there, but
That's it.
it does a lot of damage.
Noble execution.
Yeah, we're not worried about it.
It's a finisher.
Yep.
Battle 2, engage.
Yeah, that's the thing about a matchup like this is you can, put the work in, weave the web, and do a lot of damage chip by chip, but Zerom gets in once, and Charlotta is on top of you, and your life bar goes far away.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes. And now, Senpai Spider's facing down a match point from Zerom. But once again, sticking to the game plan of the distance game, I like it. Not being deterred despite losing the round, but you gotta be able to finish that plate there. And hopefully, Senpai Spider mixes up just enough so that Zerom doesn't get another big jump in. Speaking of which,
These 2Ls to kind of break up the pace a little bit. It's really clever. Oh no, okay, we're fine. We're not fine.
we're definitely not fine.
Super not
Skybound
fine.
out there.
Alright, still
There
party
is
time.
meter.
Yep. Get me out of here. Wicked super. Don't do it. It's not good advice. It's just what I want to see. Oh, that was great.
Ooh.
Oh no, doesn't play the finisher.
Chip range.
All right,
though.
chip
Yeah.
damage though. Yeah.
Unable to combo after the 2 far Ls. I think normally Matera, at least after the first one, can get an EX arrow. Maybe super. I'm not sure though.
Good flash kick
Super
there.
feels like it might be a little bit wonky. Wow, that end air is incredible. And no solid punish on that throw whip. Every little bit counts in this matchup. Yeah, Zerom is sort of a 3-touch monster.
Yeah, and sticks to you like glue, right? I mean, we've seen Zerom play the Fairy matchup. Fairy also has great air mobility, both forwards and backwards. Kind of like Matera, we see a similar level of aerial space down going.
Ooh.
That's sick.
I like that jump over there off
What
the
that speed
assault.
was looking for. Yeah, Senpai doing a really good job of mixing up the aerial movement here. Kind of tagged a couple of times, but in general is like making those jumps look a little bit less predictable than they could be.
Yeah, I like using the unique there to go in just a little bit, just to keep Zerom off the ability to read everything that's going. But you got to be careful, yeah, because if you get clipped up, now you're in pressure range.
Yeah. Throw. Frame kill. Still partying. Uh-oh.
Close M anti-air is
Yeah,
definitely
I've seen
a
that
party
twice now.
starter.
Oh, great throw. Still in it. And butterflies are out. All right.
Senpai Spider just hanging out there, doesn't want to go any further forward, but got to be careful of the EX Blanca ball.
And be careful of the time, too. I think Zerom is more than willing to wait it out. Only 10 seconds on the clock. And the
It's gonna make something happen right here.
Yeah, you can duck the high arrow, no problem. That's the full
Oh.
anyway. Oh, yeah. And that is definitely
Block button's not going to do anything right there.
Yep. Definitely a checkmate situation. Aided by the clock there from Zerom. Love the creative solution to the opponent. Kind of letting them even chase you in the corner just so you can set up that super to no contest them right out of the sky. That was... I love that play there from Zerom.
Definitely a mark of Zerom's ability and kind of playstyle here, where you find a Charlotta player trying to time out a Matera.
Yeah.
It's not how you'd expect that to play out necessarily, but given Zerom's pedigree in these Casa brackets, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you when a player's willing to do that and aware enough to do that, what level of skill they're currently sitting around as far as the game goes, because you know it really takes that awareness to know, like, hey, I don't even have to go super in right now, even though that's what my character does. I can just chill and wait for the right opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of a mindset thing too. It's really hard for like a lot of players to get over, myself included. It's like that compulsion to just go in, and like it's one thing to be like, okay, I'm gonna play neutral, then I'm gonna go in, but it's another to say, like, even if I win neutral, I'm gonna bow out and like let this be my opponent's game to win or lose.
Exactly.
Every special move you do with that character, Charlotta, will fling you forward towards the opponent in some way or another.
Yep.
Blanca, or rather Charlotta Ball, noble strategy, the demon flip, she's going forward, resisting that built-in urge that the game gives you, and then instead using those tools or other tools to intercept the opponent as they eventually find themselves both without a life lead and getting impatient, is what I would say Zerom's strategy is. That's the noble strategy for that Charlotta player. All right, so in the time that we have now, we have a good loading screen to go through, which means we can show you some of our partners here at Casa, including ourselves. I think... Excuse me. Team coming in. Fame's first time in Casa, the first time we've been blessed by any Vasaraga on the stream. It's not the first time we've seen Ladiva, but it's always exciting to watch Houston, probably the most likely to perform an entire 5U man grab combo, mid-screen or corner. Corner's a little more exciting to do 50%. Against big body Vasaraga, that's more like 55. Fame's a survivor. I wonder if we'll ever even see Fame in that situation.
I think getting a 5U on Fame would be like a little bucket list moment for Decent.
I think so, but you can end up in those scenarios, no matter what your skill, depending on how the Ladiva player wants to aggress. But I mean, this is also Fame, right? So the chances of it are, I wouldn't bet your money on that.
Right. I don't know if I can name another Vasaraga player.
Well, gonna have to do some research, but yeah, even the Vasaraga players use Fame for their research.
Of course, yeah, and why wouldn't you, right? Like, Fame is definitely developed this character, if anyone has. Even in Japan, I'm not really familiar with too many boss players. And
Judge Debagame is probably the biggest one out there.
And went for the 5U right there, but didn't get it.
We're gonna, if anyone's gonna do it today, it's gonna be Decent.
It's a seasoned response to 5U, to not just be jumping it and getting a big maker punish, but rather getting the sweep and then crossover that Fame actually wants for the long-term victory game plan here.
The buttons are just so big all the time.
And we were talking earlier about how we hadn't seen Vasaraga on the stream before. Right now, Decent is clearly getting used to the matchup because we're seeing some roll attempts. You actually can't roll through Vasaraga's Fireball, though.
That is correct.
So any of those cancels are going to get blown up. The same way that Percival hurts you and full combos you when you try to roll through his Fireball. Vasaraga's got that as well.
Step back there is insane after the walk with the armor. Just putting the pressure down. I really like to see this. Forcing Decent to kind of address the situation, but sometimes you got to block.
Getting some conversions off of the single headbutt there, but not going into the enders. Maybe sort of surprised to see that Fame just pressing buttons.
Yeah, just not being ready to confirm hits is always going to be a problem. You have to make the most of every opportunity. Fame shows us the value of the hit confirm into super. The reward you get for staying aggressive the whole round. You build plenty of meter and can kill the opponent right when you need to.
Yeah,
that's how
I mean, just walking forward builds that meter, right? So
yeah, so walk forward, walk back. Even normals on block build meter, so you're not doing chip with them, not making gray life happen or anything, but you're still rewarded for being aggressive all the time.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
So who makes the first aggressive play here? Now it's backdash from Fame.
yeah, the fireball comes out to space things out, catches, you know, puts enough space between him and Decent to armor up. I like it.
That dodge, that was incredible.
We get Strong Oki here.
Got something. Oh, there we go. All right, there's a hit, and kind of spaghetti, but a little bit of damage.
A little bit of damage to the router right there. Had some slow-mo effects to
yeah.
go through. I think Basaraga just did that 2U on the router.
Sweep off of the wall. Another fireball. Good sways from Decent. He's staying really aware of where to spot dodge.
Oh, full combo. Going online.
Well, great. You stole Fame's meter. You didn't get the punish you wanted.
Got it out of there, but... Oh, no!
Must have been hesitating between SPD and confirming the super.
Timing. Yeah, we got a round.
That's decent. Oh, you say we. I see. You like wrestlers then, let's see.
We're all playing together. This is... The Casa is for everybody.
Right, yes. Okay, got it.
Fame is also proud of the rounds that we all got together.
Yeah, right. Putting on a good show.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. 2M into the follow-up.
Real bad.
Really nice from Fame. Getting a good chunk of damage down too.
Yeah, that's one of Basaraga's most important ones is 2U. And the reason being, you get the combo straight into EX run extensions because the 2U launches them itself. Speaking of combo into extensions, we didn't see super there. Fame taking time.
Not quite done.
Yeah. Maybe taking some more information, seeing how successful the EX walk into low is going to be. That one actually works so often. People get concerned about command grab, and they try to jump out. But just checking legs is always going to be the most important thing to keep people close to you, right where you want them to be as Basaraga.
There's the armor up there. Overhead block. It's his turn, but they trade anyway because frame data happens that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Magic. It's not all +2 and -2.
I think that's Fame's first command grab, by the way. It's the first and the last.
Decent's favor here, yes.
You have about 10,000 frames to type GGs now if you'd like to, and await the next match in the loser's bracket.
It's a decent defensive option in that situation.
Yeah. Is it? Right?
It's, honestly, it's the best you can get.
Yeah.
It's totally safe on wake up, and it lets you keep some mental meter for the next round.
All right, well, we got another diva coming up to play here, Jan. Strong diva player if you've ever seen Jan play.
Oh yeah, they've played here before, and they're incredible.
Scenarios. Yeah, Jan he's amazing. So looking forward to that. I enjoy seeing Ladiva on the screen in general. I feel like just the character herself generates a ton of exciting moments. So never can get enough of that.
She does not even have to be playing the crowd and taking off the mask after SPD to hype me up. I'm hyped for that safe jump Oki. See what she can do, even against characters with DPs. You can feel defenseless not knowing when to do it. With the first EX headbutt being +2 as well, you get both an automatic hit confirm link tool and tick throw tool combined right there. It's so strong. Almost as strong as the consistency with which we're uploading our VODs onto the Casa YouTube channel. You can check that out. I'm sure we'll have Grand Blue Fantasy Versus uploaded by tomorrow morning if you miss anything there. I'll be filling you in on that one, writing the description, writing the timestamps myself. Really enjoyed doing that for you all, and for myself, because I like to see exactly what created my bracket path throughout all of the Casa events. Another thing I like to see is community supporting community, and that is achievable because Casa has a Patreon with 3 different tiers on the screen right there between $1, $3, and $5. You have many different options to suit whatever finances you'd like to supply to the Casa. This is a long-term mortgage we're paying down here, but with your help on Patreon, we will pay off this Casa and pay out our players and our staff, more importantly. So for any of you interested in doing that, hit the link in the chat. I'm sure somebody can Nightbot this for you while I continue moving on through the ads here. Here's Teespring, one of the many tools that you can use to help support the Casa and support whatever aesthetic decision making you like to make on your clothing, on your phone cases, mugs. I haven't seen the Casa mug yet. If anybody wants to buy that and take a photo with it now or within the next week, I'd be happy to see it, because
I don't think I've seen the mug either. It's super good. we are
you
getting
choose
back
all
to
the
hot
different
coffee
colors.
season right now too. It's you know, having the days that dip down to 50, 45 up here at least, and yeah, like there's so many mugs you get from like Goodwill, and they've got some kooky stuff on it that you're not even really a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
You got your Harry Potter mug, you've never read any of the books, and so it could be a time to keep those in the back shelf and yeah, support our tournament and also get something with a clean design, something that you can reflect back on the day after you you place first in our tournament and think, wow, I had such a great time last evening.
And you keep your hands warm while doing so too, whether it's coffee or tea. The Casa has everything you need to brew or boil.
Yep, hot water with lemon. That's a life hack.
So already looking at the Casa Street Fighter 5 Maturino, it's got $51 in it, and I believe we're at like round 1 or 2 in that tournament. So this is a beautiful and celebratory moment right now for the Street Fighter 5 Maturino, and we can keep that positive energy going on through the rest of the night. We got like 3 hours of bracket energy left. Imagine all the Maturino energy that could turn into if all of the people that were watching or participating hit that Maturino code. It is Casa GBVS 19 for the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus bracket. We're up at $18 right now. We got to catch up to Street Fighter. We're a tight community. We definitely support each other.
Need that Maturino Spirit Bomb, as I like to call it.
Yes, yeah. And you're going to need to stay in good spirits to fight against Jan here. This is the queen of all the Ladivas, if I may say. One of the most tournament experienced Ladivas. Frequent Ronin Rumble champion. I know I've seen Dynamite commentating. Plenty of Jan victories over there. Going up against Jiggyfee, who we have mostly known as a Matera player throughout all of Grand Blue's life, but Jiggy is now playing also Narmaya and Jita too. She's rocking all of the women in this game, so I'm interested to see how Narmaya approaches the matchup. Probably doesn't want to approach the matchup in the sense of moving forward. Maybe wants to keep the matchup at bay.
Yeah, Genji Far H is going to help out a lot here if it can land, and of course standing medium.
That was clean. That was a non-counter hit conversion too. It seems like such a trivial thing to have just like a quick special follow-up up your anti-air like that, but obviously that damage does add up, and with Narmaya, you're just kind of looking for a little bit of extra credit before your big combo pops off and you kill someone.
Oh, this is Jan taking advantage of the first sign of hesitation.
Oh,
Jiggy
yeah,
with
Jan
one
time.
move, and Jan actually runs all the way in and just starts looping SPDs. They're up to 3 right now. Third one was the charm, because then it was normals into super that took this first round for Jan. It was a patient start, but a very sudden end after about 20 seconds passed.
Player 2, win.
Yeah, Jan's ability to really get your mind all boggled with strike field mix-up with the Diva is some of the best around, and you know, it's going to be hard for Jiggy to not get ahead and then win. So that's exactly what they're doing right now, right? Until then, as the commentator's curse.
However,
not so safe.
Yeah, wasn't a safe jump. You can be a little bit greedy as Ladiva if you choose. You can try and side switch with the safe jump, but it doesn't actually stay safe that way if you do.
I'm really curious as to if some players are trying some new characters in wake of like a patch. And granted, like Matera's posed to maybe get some buffs at this point since she's relatively underrepresented, but Nara's another character that I think with a few little tweaks could be really strong in this game.
I'm already kind of afraid of her. She's already got 8 moves. You gotta be careful which one you buff.
Give her 2 more moves. That's all I want. They can be trash.
All right, plus on that crescent there. Nice step back, but no punish.
Nothing on the whip. Uh-oh. Jan time's in effect. Safer that time. Uh-oh. Not so safe for Jiggy Fee. But she finds her way out.
Yeah, standing resets we're posing to be a huge threat there for Jan. You see that Jan always stops the auto combo after the second hit on hit. That leaves Jan +1, which means you're frame trapping into either SPD or close M, which means big damage and harsh consequences are on the board. However, Jiggy uses a close 5L, 5 frame. Close
No
L.
safe jump is safe from Narmaya and Kagura stance, by the way. That parry is similar to Lo Wayne's, where if you get hit by it, you get the sort of magnet hands effect. So you're not going to land on the ground to recover in time. You're just going to get clapped.
Yeah, so empty jumping into just regular medias is going to be a little bit more effective against that. Maybe you can cancel into spot dodge after you witness the parry trigger, but Narmaya's is so fast that people just aren't reacting. I don't even know if it's possible, honestly.
I will say, we have seen in the past, I believe it was Jan who jabbed into SPD and just like
Zeta,
baited
right?
the parry. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Jan saving the meter there on the light conversion. Definitely could have spent super. I've seen Jan do it before.
Above the cross through. Not willing to take the...
Honestly, this approach by Jan is really good. Yeah, because you can look for that, as I was going to say. So Skybound Art is going to be the big factor here on the whiff. And Jan played that really well. Just spacing it out, not committing HP to try to get back in, since Jiggy Fee was throwing out a lot of normals and skills. And, you know, converting. I really like to see Jan, one of the best Ladivas out there, to change the pace in the middle of the match, knowing when to pump the brakes, especially with a life lead.
Yeah. Jan also just taught me that Ladiva's overhead hits really high in the air. Most of the rest of the cast is pretty vulnerable to getting their overhead jumped over, and then, you know, full cross-up jumping combo punished. However, Ladiva has like this Laura V-skill effect where it just hits really high in the sky.
Got a nice block from Jan.
Keeping those turns. Oh no.
Another DP
Too
punish,
aggro.
yeah.
To get you dunked.
Dunked, but still, you know, it is Ladiva, so she's hitting the round first. Narmaya didn't actually take damage. It's all just a show.
Yeah, it's fake,
wrestling.
yeah. Well, it's not fake, it's scripted. There's a difference.
Right. There's still athleticism on display.
Yeah, and theater. Ooh, and with DP, which is a certain type of theater, maybe tragedy we call it.
Yeah, also tragic is the forward roll.
Not
Kind
finding
of
a way
getting
out there.
quickly crossed up there.
Yeah, frantic defense too. Didn't find an out. Maybe was scared of the command grab the whole time, which is totally reasonable. But in this case, it puts Shiggy to losers, I believe.
It does, and it was a pretty hard switch from command grabs, winning the first game very handily, to almost all strikes in the second. I mean, what a perfect design for a first to two character, right?
Yeah,
You
definitely
can
can win
just
the
utterly
first
switch
two in very confusing fashion, right? The short set with Ladiva can be a nightmare, and Jan plays it really well. But also the long set, like I was there saying earlier, you know, Jan is definitely one of those players where I've seen him just chill for long periods of time on the clock as Ladiva on the other side of the screen and not make any big commitments. And I think that's one of the most frightening things about playing Jan.
Yeah, and I'm pretty frightened of Zerom. Last time we played on Casa, I won. Then at NLBC, Zerom beat me pretty handily in winners. So this is a rivalry we have for sure. We can never go at Casa without playing now. So I'm going to get into that and let you two take it away.
All right, it's gonna be.
Oh, that is you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Monkey
that's-
Business versus Zerom. Percival versus Charlotta. Should be interesting. I mean, you know, if Monkey Business can play the keep out of my house, do not enter my casa game, then, you know, Zerom will have a very hard time. But we've seen Zerom play against those range characters before, Fairy included, and give people nightmares. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, if you haven't seen Monkey play before, he's definitely not a keep out of my house type of player. If anything, he's going to try to show Zerom around. But in the past, I think that Monkey is one to try to like overwhelm We'll see if that pays off here.
Alright, so I'm already in. Monkey's keeping the doors wide open. Step in. Please sit down. Would you like some tea?
Goes real low. Just takes the frame advantage off that. Not too worried about racking up the damage off of the medium conversion there. Just happy to take that -1 situation. It's something that is kind of a knowledge check that we talked about in the past. Basically, your 5-frame jab has to match up with Percival's, which means that your proximity has to be at least as close as his is, and you have to have that jab in the first place. So you can really steal a lot of turns with that. Oh my god,
counter hit overhead there. Yeah, that's gonna be
scumbag stuff. I love it. Peak monkey business. And another overhead there. Just keep him frame advantage. Bit by bit. Takes a turn.
Oh, nice conversion off of that. Yeah, that was really good. Run up super?
Run up super?
No way.
I don't blame him.
Battle 2. Engage.
Monkey see, monkey do situation there.
Alright, overhead out of the air again. Monkey business just going ahead and just continuing to use it to get blocked on the DP. It's going to be, not big damage at all.
Not too much, too bad. Yeah, actually, the thing about that DP is that if you try to catch it in midair, it's not a counter hit state. So you need to know what you want your fallout to be, or you need to let Percival get grounded before you go off.
Pressure in the corner from Zero. Monkey business trying to escape here.
Ooh,
goes for the
spot
short
dodge.
on the slide.
Might come in
Yeah.
handy later. Didn't really pay off there, but it's definitely tech that Monkey needs to be able to respect in the future.
Oh, caught him in animation there, but there was the demon flip, the chosen one. This is it.
Yeah, we know what happens after the cinematic, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's execution for a reason.
Boom. Out of here.
Battle 3.
All right, we're going to battle 3 for game 1. It's definitely been back and forth, like the rivalry that Monkey Business, said before the match started.
Man grabbing may have been safe there, but sort of gets a little greedy maybe. Parry through the Pierce, that was really interesting. Runs in afterwards. You're in a really good position here.
I like that. Good DP on Zeron's attempt to pressure Monkey Business. Goes for it. Just a standard jump, a little bonk on the dome. The crown getting blessed a little bit.
Yeah, even 2L gets you out of that blocked low situation, but it's with a trade, which is not ideal. That being said, it's better than getting tagged, so Zero in a good spot here. Wake up super, and not a lot you can do about that. And Zero willing to wait and look for a reaction here. I'm gonna play it slow. Monkey is definitely the type to try to angle for that. Wow, great defense. Huge tech. Oh, DP. Not dead yet. Oh, that's gonna do it. Wonder if Monkey was looking for the throw there. At any rate, he didn't find it. He didn't find the 2L either.
It's really hard because a Charlotta's running up on you and you don't want to guess wrong. I definitely understand missing that. But counter hit overhead here, great starter.
Fun throw there. Hard knockdown and nice safe jump. DP's out. Wow, I can't believe that crossed up.
Nice delay there. Wow, just willing to DP on the block. Still my turn. No one's sharing in this house.
And again, getting a lot of mileage off of that. Oh, great tag. I don't know if that's going to do it.
Scales really hard, unfortunately. But the meaty jump in. Gonna go ahead and close it out for Monkey Business.
Battle 2. Engage.
Wow, really? What's the timer on those overheads on knockdowns? That's rough.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's when you get hit by that overhead, it feels like a good time to try to start escaping. And I don't know why that is. I feel like sometimes I feel like a throw is gonna go off right after the overhead does. But with Percival especially, you have to worry about command throw. There's a lot of options there in the mix.
Ooh, the roll through on the Skybound art, that was really
super
cool.
anime. Oh, run up spot dodge, that's not going to do anything here. And command grab for your trouble. Are we going to find a... Nope. Still looking for it. Oh no.
Yeah, the pressure.
Oh,
Here
super
comes
could have done
Zeron. Gonna try to take things back. Does have Skybound art, so Monkey Business has to be careful. Doesn't want to jump into an old execution.
Yeah, Monkey just happy spending some cooldowns over here, trying to get a little bit of chip, keep himself unpredictable.
Oh, and there it is.
Don't do that.
The reaction time. You heard the startup on the overhead, and Zerom's like, no, not this time.
Yeah, that was some like Kirby Samurai Showdown type. What was that game called? Does anyone know in chat? Remember the Kirby game where you had to fight Meta Knight?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of the. It was a mini game within a Kirby game. I don't know the name of the Kirby game.
So much damage.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of damage right there. Something Monkey Business definitely wants to keep doing. Late tech from Zeron.
Ooh, weird. Is that a DP? Trying to cut us like a wave on the fireball there.
Yeah, that was a little odd, but Monkey Business still in control of the round so far, but pushed back into the corner.
Oh no!
He can charge it. He can charge it.
Yeah, you don't want to though, right? Oh, that was so sick. That was Monkey Business optimization to a T. Is knowing that
Making the most out of a mess.
you gotta rip the super because you already know you blew it up, so you can be -2, so you can Dragon Punch. Like that is the Monkey Business like style guide.
I'm learning a lot here.
Here we go. -1. Don't care. Frame data's not real. Birds aren't real. All right, charges up. Not so sure about that. Oh, bummer. I think a cross-up might have hit there. At any rate, Monkey's not in the corner, which is most of what you have to worry about here. And Zeron with the spot dodge, so clean. Great pressure. I think this jab is gonna... Oh wow, that was so sick.
Yeah, Zeron really just trying to take over the situation here and keep the momentum on his side.
Oh, it doesn't get the super. But this is chip territory. Yeah, have to do something risky to turn the tides there, and it's not going to work out. Zeron found it before Monkey knew.
Battle 2, engage.
Alright, Zeron sitting on match point.
Wow, that demon flip recovers so fast. You're back on the ground before like you can even see what's happening.
A lot of Charlotta skills are like that, right? Even
Yeah.
DP is.
Yeah, the
if you're
whip,
not ready for it, you can get away.
with Charlotta Ball too. It's like there's that frame kill after I think forward throw, where it puts her right next to you without hitting you, and it's like really jarring on defense.
Anti-air possibility?
Ooh.
Yeah, one with the
Counter.
parry.
Kind of expecting oh wow, good counter hit. That's all you need. Boom.
Yeah, Zeron for that game 3 really did decide to, you know, just take the momentum in his hands and move forward with it. Didn't give Monkey the time to kind of pace things out. And once Charlotta has that momentum, just like her Skybound now, she just rolls on through. Like it's just like whirling death.
Yeah, I think that last round definitely felt kind of like a case study. Like Zeron had definitely gathered a lot of information about what they needed to do to win, and you know, had momentum, but also spot dodge where they needed to, got their damage, controlled the match, and like definitely showed that the you know, if this is a back and forth, they're on the fourth right now.
For sure. But I mean, you know, Monkey, ever a student, you know, definitely gonna look at the tapes and
Yeah, for sure.
see what
Hey, he has to upload the tapes.
There you go. You can't escape
He
it.
has to look at the tapes.
Yeah.
But he'll definitely look it over, and I think that he definitely played that well, and in his style, he definitely imposed his will on the matchup, and found really unique places to do it. It's a style of play that can be really explosive, but also have some like highs and lows, and I find that Monkey's really good at optimizing that type of game flow, and like, you know, creating the scramble, but then like operating really well within it, and that can be challenging against a player like Zeron, who is really good at controlling something like that. And that last round, you can tell that there wasn't a lot of that scramble, and it was because Zeron was keeping a tight leash on the whole